Good afternoon. I'm Kirby Hocutt, and it's my pleasure and honor to serve as the Athletics Director at Texas Tech University. Thank you for joining us today and spending time with us to talk about a day in the life of a Division I student athlete. And that's a topic that is very dear to us and very special. Our mission statement at Texas Tech Athletics is to educate, serve, and grow fearless champions. Our fearless champions are our student athletes. We have 400 student athletes here at Texas Tech. It's a great university, and we are joining you today live from Jones AT&T Stadium. It's one of the best college football stadiums, atmospheres, and environments in the entire country. And we're going to take this opportunity to showcase our stadium to you. It is a beautiful stadium. It seats 61,000 fans. We have 6 home games a year. And we're excited about this upcoming football season. As we go into this season, we have a new head coach in Cliff Kingsbury, who was a former starting star quarterback for the Red Raiders. So it's an exciting time of the year in intercollegiate athletics, and we again thank you for taking time to be with us today, and hope that we can visit with you and answer any questions you have about being a student athlete. And if you're considering becoming a student athlete during your time in college, it's a great opportunity, and one that I think would continue to further your education. And I do believe that intercollegiate athletics plays a vital role within higher education. We all know that nothing captivates our country quite like sports does, and college football season, March Madness and basketball season seems to captivate the entire country, and it's a special opportunity for young people to meet new people, to learn and grow as individuals, and as they learn the lessons in the classroom and identify what they want to do in their career and along their journey. I was fortunate that I was a student athlete for 5 years at Kansas State University. I had the opportunity to play football there. My 5 years at Kansas State as a student athlete were 5 of the best years of my life. The lessons that I learned as a student athlete are still lessons today that influence and impact me on who I am as an individual, as an athletics director, and even more importantly, who I am as a father and as a husband. So with that being said, I think that being a student athlete at this level is not easy. There are lifelong lessons that are learned, but when you compete in intercollegiate athletics at the Division I level, it's competitive. We are competing at the highest level at Texas Tech. We're in the Big 12 Conference. And when you look at all sports that we sponsor at the varsity level, we sponsor 17 sports. And we have 400 student athletes who participate in those 17 sports. And our goal is to be the very best. We want to win. We want to win within the rules. And not only do we want to win in the classroom, win in the community, but we want to win in competition. So it is competitive, and it's not easy. If it was easy, we would have 1,000 student athletes that would participate, not just 400. And we hope we can talk to you today about the opportunities to participate as a student athlete, the lessons that we've learned as a student athlete, and probably, if we're successful, start you thinking more about those opportunities and how you can participate if you choose to at the Division I level. I've got 2 very special guests with me today, and individuals who are involved in intercollegiate athletics and have extensive experience as a student athlete. Justin Paysinger is going to join us in just a few minutes. Justin is our Director of Student Athlete Affairs here at Texas Tech University. He's been with us 4 years and was a 4-year starter student athlete at San Jose State University as a football player. Justin is one of the most talented young administrators that I've ever worked with, exceptionally talented in what he does, and knows how to be successful. Justin develops relationships with our current coaches, with our student athletes, as well or better as anybody that I've ever worked with before. And you're going to enjoy having a chance to visit with Justin. And then our other guest this afternoon is Carlin Myers. Carlin is very special because she's a proud Texas Tech graduate, was a former student athlete at Texas Tech, was one of the best setters on our volleyball team in our volleyball history. And now we're excited that she is an assistant director within our strength and conditioning program. She's going to continue to help student athletes within our athletic department and program today have the same experiences that she experienced here in Red Raider land. So with that, it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you Justin Paysinger to talk a little bit about his experiences, his time as a student athlete, and also what he does each and every day as the director of Student Athlete Affairs here at Texas Tech. So Justin.
Thank you. So I played football at San Jose State University back in California, born and raised in Los Angeles. I was a four-year starter at center, so a lot of good memories. Some of my best friends to this day were gained in college. So my day in life as a student athlete back in 2004 to 2008, we practiced every morning at 6 a.m. So practice started at 6. We had to be at the facility by 4:30, training and treatment, and on the field by 6 in the cold weather. But it was fun. You know, you grind together as a team, you grow together as a team, you learn leadership and life skills and communication skills together as a team. After practice, we had class in our studies. And then from there, we had more study hall, learning assistants, and then also more training and film study to cap off our nights. Like Kirby mentioned, some of the best years of my life, probably memories I'll have for me for as long as I can remember, and as long as I go forward. So I still talk to buddies every day. We still connect on a daily basis. And my coaches as well, great mentors, helping me become a young man at the time and now propelling me into the future as I begin my life as a man and hopefully start a family one day. It's just life lessons I will always carry with me. My time here at Texas Tech, I'm the director of Student Athlete Affairs. So my job is everything student athlete life skills, student athlete development. There's 6 areas we oversee: personal development, professional development, leadership development, diversity education, community service, and then wellness is our 6th area. So everything from cooking seminars to resume workshops to interviewing skills, what not to wear series, so what to wear to an interview, what you should not wear to an interview, what you should wear in life and not wear in life. We discuss networking, everything professional development. From a personal standpoint, again, our cooking seminars, we do relaxation workshops, yoga meditation workshops. We'll have massage therapy coming up this fall. We do self-defense classes. We do interpersonal skills, conflict resolution, self-identity workshops. We talk a lot about leadership. So communicating as a leader, how to serve others as a leader. A big portion of leadership is service. We discuss a lot about team dynamics and how to work and function within a team, also within a classroom, and not just a team on the field, but a team among classmates as well. We do a lot of events in the community, so going to schools, churches, nonprofits, and different organizations to help give back to the Lubbock community and across the nation. We sent one of our basketball student athletes, Luke Adams, to Nashville, Tennessee last year to speak. We've had student athletes, when they go back home for the summer or for winter break, they're in the community giving back to the people that support them as well. We have a couple big events. Our big talent show each year benefits Special Olympics. So we have our student athletes that some are very talented, some are more entertaining, but it's fun nonetheless. But it's a fun show because we get to benefit a great organization in Special Olympics. And we also collect canned food at this event, and we donate that to the food bank during the holiday season to help feed the less fortunate here in Lubbock as well. During our spring season, we do what we call the TechSP Awards, which is like the ESPY Awards. And that's where we get to highlight all the great accomplishments in the classroom and in the playing competition of our student athletes, coaches, and our staff. Last year we had roughly 68% of our student athletes had a B average or better, so 3.0 or better. They're all highlighted with trophies and recognition. We have Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, Student Athlete of the Year, and various Big 12 and NCAA awards that we give out. It's a fun event. Everyone gets dressed up. We give out lots of trophies. There's music, there's shows, there's performances, there's a red carpet, there's paparazzi. So it's a lot of fun for all of our department and our guests as well. All in all, my role is to get our student athletes ready for life after college and life during college. We do a lot of programming and events that are specific to our teams, individualized to our student athletes, to help them grow, and again, in those 6 areas I mentioned. I tell all of our student athletes their coaches will take care of them athletically for their 4 to 5 years. Academically, they'll be taken care of 4 to 5 years for academic support. My job and the support of our staff is to get them ready for the next 40 to 50 years, so they can have success both personally and professionally no matter what they do once they leave Texas Tech as a proud Red Raider one day. So it's a fun job. It's exciting to work with all of our student athletes, our coaches and staff, both in the department and across campus and in the city. partnering with different individuals across the country on a national level to bring back resources to our student athletes. We do compete with other schools with our life skills programming, so I'm proud to say we're one of the best in the country right now, and only want to make that a stronger status as we move forward for our student athletes. So with that said, I'll kick it over to Carlin so she can give you her perspective on the day in the life of a student athlete.
Hi, as Kirby said, I just got done playing volleyball here 2 years ago. It was an absolutely incredible experience. I knew ever since I started playing when I was about 3 or 4 that I wanted to play in college. My mom had been a collegiate athlete, so I just knew that was something I really wanted to do. And getting in high school, it's always really nerve-wracking whether or not you're going to get that opportunity. And luckily I was fortunate enough to be able to come to Texas Tech, and all in all, it is, like they both have said, a wonderful experience. You make lifelong friends. My teammates, I can't even begin to tell you how many times we would just laugh and laugh about all sorts of things. You just really have a built-in family immediately coming into college. And it's just like getting involved in anything. You immediately are going to learn different skills that you can take on forever. You learn how to work with people, different teamwork aspects, just how to be a leader. And one of the big things is time management. As soon as you're here, you have workouts at 5:30 a.m., you have to go to class all day, you have to go to tutoring, you have to go meet with your coaches in meetings, you have games, you're traveling all over the country, and it's just really important to figure out how you can be a student, an athlete, and also have the rest of your life to plan for socially and just with future jobs. And so overall, it's a really busy day, but it's always a blast, and you have such a good support system. At Texas Tech, we always had great academic support. We had academic counselors that we were able to talk to at any point in time. They helped with scheduling. They helped making sure that we were taking the right classes during season when we would have to be missing for games. They would make sure that during the summer our international athletes were getting taken care of, and they're just always available to help. And then with life skills, I went to many of those cooking seminars, and I'm proud to say that they have worked. I definitely love cooking now, and it's just really great to kind of see the other student athletes that you're not necessarily around all the time in different environments. So it's not just on the field or on the court, but you get to kind of see them in a different aspect of life. And then there's always this support staff. I'm with the strength and conditioning department now, and those are the people that you love to hate. They make you do things you don't necessarily want to do, but every day you just are building relationships with them and then with other athletes that you'll see working out at the same time as you. Your coaches are always there to take care of you, and they're kind of your parents away from home. It's sometimes really hard leaving home. You're used to having your parents around, and the coaches just do a great job of really taking over and being that parent or that aunt and uncle, a friend if you need to talk to someone. And there's all sorts. If you need counseling, if you need any sort of thing, the athletic department is more than willing to help you and just really get you every unique tool you need to make it a best experience. In my 4 years, I got to travel all over the country, from California to Iowa to Florida, like all sorts of places, and that's an experience that most people will never ever get. And it was just a great opportunity. We got to go play people from all over the world with different student athletes that come across. I got to live with and play with a girl from Brazil and a girl from Puerto Rico. So just getting to be a part of all those different cultures and really come together playing a sport and that being your job is just such a wonderful opportunity. And it's definitely a lot of work. A lot of times you don't necessarily want to get up at 5:30 in the morning, but you know it's going to be worth it in the end, because now I know I'm fully prepared for any other job I want to do in life, and I know Texas Tech will always be right there with me to help me along the way.
Thank you, Justin and Carlin, for sharing that. And I think you can tell the passion and the memories that those who have participated in Division I college athletics have. I know from my personal experiences, they seem like yesterday, and the friends that I made are still friends that I hold dear today. And you know, the world has changed from when I was a student athlete, and social media has changed probably faster than any other element within higher education or even society today. And I think about the way that we're communicating this afternoon. And being a student athlete, as Carlin said, it's not easy. And especially in today's world, the way that young people communicate and by the telephones that we carry and Vine and Twitter, if you're going to be a student athlete at the Division I level, you have to accept that you're going to be held to a higher standard than other students on campus. It's not okay to go out and do what some other students do, because Carlin, as a former volleyball student athlete, she represented herself and her family, but also she represented Texas Tech University in the Texas Tech Athletics Department, and anything that she did was a reflection upon our program. So as a student athlete, much opportunity is given, but much is expected as well, and it's a great opportunity and one that I believe builds character and builds young people to become productive citizens in their chosen field and leaders within our cities, within our country, and within our world. That being said, a Division I athletic department is a very complex organization. Here at Texas Tech University, I mentioned we have 17 sports. We have 400 student athletes. Our operational budget this year is $66 million. We have a very comprehensive sports medicine and athletic training program. We have a very complex academic support services unit. At the same time, we have a very complex and detailed equipment operation. We're very fortunate. We have a tremendous relationship with Under Armour. They're the finest apparel company in the world, and they provide our student athletes with the latest and the greatest sports apparel to train and to compete in. And that's a relationship that we're very proud of. At the same time, we have a very large and significant NCAA compliance program. There are certain rules under which we're required to operate and stay within those parameters, and we have a staff that's guiding us there each and every day. We also have marketing, promotions, ticket sales, ticket operation, business office operation, facility and events operations. So it's a big business within the entire university. That being said, when you look at higher education and colleges overall, athletics are a very small component of higher education, but we're the most visible component of higher education. And you don't have to turn on your computer very long or watch TV long enough, and you see examples of how student athletes make mistakes. And we all make mistakes, and it's our job as coaches and as administrators that when our student athletes make a mistake and they fall down, we help pick them back up and learn those lessons and do all we can to position them not to repeat that mistake twice. But that's why we're here. We're growing together, and we're providing the environment for our student athletes to learn and move forward. But nowhere else on this college campus can a student make a mistake and it be a headline on the ESPN ticker or on the evening news that night like it can within intercollegiate athletics. All to the point that as you consider your college selection and you consider what events and activities you're going to participate in college, college athletics provides tremendous opportunities and tremendous benefits, but at the same time, it's a tremendous responsibility, and one that I hope that you would embrace and understand as you make those decisions. So with that, Justin, I might ask you a question before we open it up to those watching online. As you communicate and you interact with our students each and every day, those students that are coming in to Texas Tech, the student athletes, what are the one or two things that you have seen that are most surprising to them, or the hardest things for them to adjust to? Is it, mom's not there to tell you to go to bed, so to get up at 5:30 a.m., I got to make sure I go to bed at 10:30 or 11. What are the couple of things that you've seen that are the hardest things for student athletes to adapt to?
Right. Some of the harder things that we've seen, and Carlin touched on it, is time management. From the start, you've got practice, you've got class, you've got training, You've got academic requirements. You've got travel if you're a fall sport. You've got treatment. We now have sports nutrition. There's sports nutrition meetings. So really balancing the time. You come from having that summer off before you come to college, or even in high school, where you didn't have as many requirements on your time and on your schedule. But from the start, you're going to have so many different factors involved in your college daily life that it gets hard. So that's why we focus a lot on the time management piece, being able to manage your daily life, keeping a calendar, keeping a schedule, using your cell phone that has a calendar that can give you reminders. That's always beneficial. We now have a system here at Texas Tech that a lot of schools use called Grades First, where you can put academic reminders in there and personal reminders. So you don't forget about a last minute paper or assignment or quiz. You can set a reminder 3 weeks out or 4 weeks out. So really that time management piece is pretty key. Another aspect we see, going back to mom or dad's not there, is homesickness and being away from home and family and friends and what you're used to, especially coming to an area that you may be different from where you grew up. Moving here for myself from Los Angeles to West Texas was a transition. So we see that sometimes. We have a lot of international student athletes. So coming to an entirely different culture on a national scale can be a bit discouraging at times, can be a bit tough to deal with, but that's why we're here to help. We're here to help you understand you have a great opportunity ahead of you, both academically and athletically, and we're here to help you manage your time, but also manage some of the emotions you may be feeling being on your own for the first time, making decisions on your own for the first time, managing money, personal relationships with friends or teammates and coaches and students and professors. So there's a lot of dynamics that go into being a student and not just a student athlete that we help our student athletes try to overcome in their first few months or first year while they're in college.
So there's a tremendous responsibility and adjustment when it comes to taking care of yourself and being responsible and taking care of your business. As many of us have grown up, we're fortunate that we've had parents or aunts or uncles or grandparents there to help us. Don't forget to take your homework to school. Make sure you wake up in the morning. And when you get to college, there's a tremendous self-responsibility that comes upon you. So there's that side you're dealing with in your transition, but also when you get to the college level, you're training to be an elite athlete if you're training at this level. And I might ask Carlin, who was an elite Division I student athlete, was the best, one of the best in Texas Tech history at what she did, who's now involved in training our athletes to become elite in competition. Just to talk a little bit about our strength and conditioning program, the type of training programs that they do each and every day at this level.
Strength and conditioning, it's usually something that nobody in high school does, especially to the level. High school is more about having fun. It's very competitive, but once you get to college, it's your job to be an athlete, and your job is to help your team do the best that they can. And at Texas Tech, we are training year-round. So whether you are playing in games or whether it's your off season, if you are in Lubbock for the summer, we always are training people. In season, it's a lot of just maintenance work, making sure you stay healthy, because injury prevention is our #1 rule for strength and conditioning. That's the best thing that we can do to help you be a better athlete, is give you the opportunity to play more, play longer, and play harder. So that's always our #1 responsibility. But in doing that, we want to make you stronger, more powerful. We want to make you better at your position. We don't train the football players the same way we're training the golfers or the volleyball players. Each sport has their own strength and conditioning coach who is helping them get better at the specific skills that they need. So an average strength and conditioning session will include a good warm-up, really making sure we're getting the athletes' bodies going and ready to go, especially at 5:30, 6 a.m. It takes a little bit to get the athletes moving. So then we'll go into the weight room and we lift weights every day, and we're not bulking the girls up, we're not making them look strange and powerful. We just want them to be the best athletes they can be. And if you watch ever on TV, you'll see athletes all across the country at the Division I level. They're just getting stronger, they're posting better times, there's records being broken every single day, and that's all. A lot of it has to do with just better training. And so after we work in the weight room on just being explosive, getting stronger, we'll do, for volleyball for example, we do a lot of jump training. They're jumping all games, so we really are working on that. Football players work on being really powerful. I know Justin probably did a lot of really quick movements and really working on being that explosive player that he had to be. And then we do running. I mean, conditioning is unfortunately part of athletics, so running is always one of the least favorite aspects, but it really builds a lot of mental toughness. We're never going to make you do anything that's going to hurt you, but we're trying to make you better. And in order to do that, we have to push you out of your boundaries. You see a lot of leaders born in the strength and conditioning field. We get to see athletes more than the coaches do based on compliance rules. And so in order to do that, we really we're selling the whole mental aspect of, can I do that one extra run, or can I push myself to be a little better today? And so that's where you see just the incredible leaders come out, and you can really see teams bond, go together. We like to do competitions. So whether it's within the team or with a different sport, maybe we'll have the volleyball and basketball teams compete against each other, and it's just amazing to see the camaraderie come out in the team and just see the girls really compete for each other. They really want to do the best, and then they can take that and put it onto the court when they're doing all the skills that they've been practicing every single day with their respective coaches.
Thank you, Carlin. And we'd invite all of you watching and the students, if you have questions, feel free to type them in, and we'll answer any of your questions that come forward today. So please feel free to ask any questions of myself or Justin or Carlin, and we look forward to seeing what's on your thoughts or what questions you have related to a day in the life of a Division I student athlete. That being said, I will never forget my time as a student athlete at Kansas State, and I was fortunate that I started my junior and senior years, and I had grown up wanting to play college football at the Division I level. The challenge for me is I was average speed, and I'm only 5'10" tall, so the college recruiters were not lined up at my door. Spike Dykes was the great football coach at Texas Tech during that time, and I still give Coach Dykes a hard time to this day because he didn't recruit me from Sherman, Texas to come to Texas Tech and play for him. But I had the opportunity to go to Kansas State and play for Coach Snyder, who's still coaching there, and I had a great experience. But when you talk about being pushed to the edge, when you talk about the adversity that comes from playing, I'll never forget my senior year. No, it was my junior year. We were playing Colorado, and I'd had a bad game that day. And I came in the film room on Sunday, and my coach at that time said, "Kirby, I'm going to start Deshaun Fogel next week." And that was probably the worst news that I could receive. But I recognized I had a bad game. Well, we come back the next week, and we play Iowa State. And I got back in the game in the middle of the first quarter, and I never lost that starting position again my junior or my senior year. And that was a lesson that I still hold dear to this day. I got knocked down, but I learned that lesson. I picked myself back up. It would have been very easy to say, poor me, I lost my starting position, now I'm going to be a backup. But when that opportunity comes again for you to get back in the starting lineup, for you to get back on the field, you got to make sure you're mentally prepared and you're physically prepared to step in and to do what you need to do to be successful as an individual, but more importantly, to help your team win. So a lot of lessons that come from being a Division I student athlete. It looks like we have a question here from a young man named Scott from Waco, Texas, and he asked, what was the hardest transition from high school to college athletics? What was the hardest transition from high school to college athletics? Carlin, you're probably as close to that as we are, so do you remember your transition?
Yeah, some of the transitions, one, like they've talked about, just not having your parents there to tell you what to do. Luckily for me, I came in and started volleyball right away. There wasn't really much time for me to try to do other things. It was just immediately 2-a-days started and we got into the groove. The hardest things were, one, traveling. We, like I said, travel all over the country, and luckily we were able to fly and sometimes even charter flights, so we're not missing as much school. But when you're missing class, making sure that you're communicating with your teachers and figuring out what work you need to do ahead of time, or if you're missing a test, when are you going to come in and make that up? And so being the person responsible for jumping on the gun with that and going to talk to them instead of having your parents call up like, hey, they're going to be missing school, that was a really hard transition. And also just the level of competition. Texas Tech is in the Big 12, which is one of the best all-around competition in the country. And the transition from high school where you think that you've seen the best of the best and you play at a really high level, whether that's at your high school or playing a club sport or AAU, just when you get to the Division I level, every single person is the best of the best coming out of their high school. And so just trying to figure out, like, these girls have been training, they've been doing strength conditioning for years, some of them, the juniors and seniors, and you have to try to catch up very fast, especially if you're a freshman that's going to be playing quickly into your first year. And that was the hardest for me, was just coming in, starting, trying to figure out, how do these girls move so fast? How is she able to keep playing for that long at such a high level? And that really just made me want to be that much better in the weight room, that much better in my running, so I could get to that level that these girls were at.
Thank you, Carlin. We've got a question from Tony in Miami who types in today, how many students go to Texas Tech? Texas Tech is a great state university. We're a campus of approximately 33,000 students. Lubbock, Texas is a great sized community. It's a community of about 250,000. Some of the best people you'll ever meet are right here in Lubbock, Texas and in the West Texas region. A lot of people don't recognize that Texas Tech is the third largest city within the Big 12 Conference, behind Austin, Texas, and now behind Fort Worth, where TCU is. But it's a great sized city. It's a great university, and I would encourage any of you, if you're still undecided about where you want to spend the next 4 or 5 years of your life, to look into what Texas Tech has to offer. It's a great university and a great city to spend time and to grow and to learn in. That being said, we have another question coming in from Dallas, Texas. What is the best away destination you got to play in? Maybe we all three could answer that. Mm-hmm. And let's start with Justin, your time at San Jose State.
So at San Jose, we had Hawaii in our conference. So every other year we got to go to Hawaii. We stayed in Waikiki. We got to go out a couple of days early. So we had a day when we got there to enjoy the island, explore a little bit, go to the ocean, go to the beach, ride mopeds if we wanted to, do a little shopping in the international marketplace, have some fantastic food, which all O-linemen liked, of course. So it was a lot of fun. The weather was fantastic. And then just playing in that environment. Over in Hawaii, they loved their team. And our coach was the former head coach at Hawaii, Dick Tomey. So a lot of fan support, a lot of community support. So a big game. Their fans were passionate. We were passionate because Coach Tomey was coming home to one of his former institutions. It was a lot of fun. Luckily, our last year, we beat them at home for the first time they've been beating at home in about 2 years. So kicked a game-winning field goal with about 3 seconds to go to beat them by 1. And it was, again, one of the best memories I'll always have. And my roommate was actually the kicker who kicked the winning field goal. So we got to celebrate with him and his family over in Hawaii, which was fantastic. So,
Carlin, what was the best destination you went to?
Well, for me personally, I grew up in Tucson, Arizona, and we actually went to the University of Arizona to play in a tournament. So for me to get to go and play in front of everyone that I had grown up with, family and friends that had watched me since I was just a little kid playing, it was just really fun to get to go and be in that environment and play for people that hadn't seen me play in years and years. But just environment-wise, I always loved going to play at the University of Nebraska. They absolutely love their Nebraska volleyball. They are always some of the top in the nation, always have just amazing players go through there, and every single game they are sold out. The crowd is on top of you because they play in the really old gym, and it's just a really fun environment. The crowd is people of all ages. Some of them have had season tickets to the volleyball games for 30, 40 years, and everyone is cheering. Even if we would win the point, they would cheer for good effort. They're just really really enjoyed watching good volleyball. So that was always a lot of fun.
I think I can touch on both of your locations. My senior year, we had a chance to play in the Aloha Bowl against Boston College, which, let me say this, when I went to Kansas State, I'd never been on an airplane. So my first time to be on an airplane was my first road trip as a student athlete in Division I athletics. But great memories of going to Hawaii for that bowl game. My junior year, we played in the Copper Bowl in Tucson and had a great experience in Carlin's hometown, and that was great memories as well. We had a big win that night. We beat Wyoming. But my sophomore year, we played against Nebraska in the Coca-Cola Bowl in Tokyo, Japan. The only time I've ever been out of the United States was as a Division I student athlete. So when you think about the travel, and I think Carlin touched on this earlier, but the travel, the experiences, the environments that you get from playing in the gyms that she remembers or the football stadiums that Justin and I remember are truly lifelong memories that you get to keep with you for forever. And I can speak more about this than Carlin and Justin can. The older you get, the more fonder you get of those memories, and the more dear you hold those to what you remember from your time as a Division I student athlete. A good question comes in from Houston, Texas, and it says, I know this is weird. I don't think there are any weird questions, but we thank you for asking. But what about food and residence halls on a college campus? So, Carlin, I feel like I keep turning to you. But
It's fine. Texas Tech, actually, when you come in as a freshman, you have to live on campus. And they have just built a couple brand new dorms that are studio apartment style. So all of our student athletes get to live in a 4-bedroom studio apartment with a living area. So you're immediately getting to live with teammates or maybe someone from another sport. So you get to go ahead and make some great connections. Some people are living with just regular students, and so you're really getting to get involved with all different people right away. And the dorms or just residence housing now is really, really incredible. And the food, we have Chick-fil-A, we have Steak Express, anything you can want, they have here. And as a student athlete, there is also an opportunity for you to eat at the training table is what it's called. And our nutritionist is the one who goes through and makes sure that all the meals are going to be good for you, so you're not stuck eating Chick-fil-A every day just because it tastes good. And so they're really well-rounded meals, and you actually get to eat that in the press box of the football stadium, so you get to look over the football field. Sometimes you might catch the football team practicing when you're up there, but it's a really awesome time. You get to go in. Just yesterday I was sitting up there with some volleyball players, soccer players, different trainers, so it's a really good time to just kind of be with the other student athletes and make sure you know you're getting good nutrition when you're eating there as well.
And those are memories that you'll have. I remember living on the 7th floor of Haymaker Hall and eating in Derby Cafeteria back in 1993 as a football player at Kansas State. But Justin, I bet you remember your residence hall and your dining at San Jose.
I do. I was fortunate to live with all the other linemen in the dorms. So I will embarrassingly say we had eating contests in our dining commons, which I won some and lost some. But like Carlin touched on, so many different distributors of food that are in the dorms and on campus. One of my favorite places is Jamba Juice, which we have on campus. We had sushi on campus. We had Chick-fil-A type places on campus. So many different offerings. And again, training table was always a great place. You eat very well when you travel. You also eat very well at the practice, and your nutritionist is there to help you, and they let you have some of the bad food too sometimes. But it was a great balance of a balanced meal to help you again sustain your training and sustain your development for your sport, but also have a little fun when you got back to dorms and your other teammates went and had a nice little cheeseburger eating contest after practice on this.
We have another question that comes in from Iowa, and is asked, I know you have mentioned help with homework, but do you have tutors as well? And we have a very comprehensive tutor program, and Justin works in the Marcia Sharp Academic Center each and every day, and maybe Justin can talk more about the tutor support that we offer as a department.
Correct. So in addition to my role as Director of Student Athlete Affairs, I'm also an academic advisor. So in our academic center, the Marshall Sharp Center, we actually have about 110 to 120 tutors every semester. Our tutors cover every single subject on the undergraduate and graduate level for our student athletes. Our tutors are trained each semester about 14 hours worth of training. They're also given individual instruction based on their student athlete workload. We have general tutoring, which helps with general study skills, again, that time management piece and managing their classes, and then we have subject tutoring for individual subjects. In our Marshall Sharp Center, we also, under our Learning Assistance Program, we have learning specialists and academic coaches. So their job is to help you, when you come in, find out what kind of learner you are. Are you visual, audio, kinesthetic? What kind of test taker you are? What kind of reader you are? Just what kind of student you are holistically. And from that point, we'll make individualized learning plans that you'll have, as well as your tutors and your learning specialists and advisors, to make sure you are getting all the resources you need to be successful as a student. So we dedicate a lot of hours. We're very proactive in our approach to academics and academic support. Student athletes can have a session every day with a tutor, once a day, twice a day, half an hour, for an hour, whatever they need. We're going to make sure that they have the tutorial and academic support in order to be successful.
Thank you, Justin. We have a question from just down the road in Midland, Texas, great city of Midland, and it's asked a question for you, Carlin. Why did you choose Texas Tech?
I chose Texas Tech for some reasons I can't really put into words, and for other reasons that are very obvious. I went on many recruiting visits, and to be honest, Texas Tech wasn't one of my top choices. I was not really planning on coming here, but I came on a visit anyway, and I'm so glad I did. From the moment I got onto campus, I just felt at home. The coaches were so kind and just so eager to talk to me, and just really made me feel like they wanted me here. And then just going around the city, it was really obvious that all the people in Lubbock are just the kindest, sweetest people. They definitely have the Texas hospitality here, and it seems like a small town in some ways, even though it's a large city with tons to do. Just the people are so kind, and they love Texas Tech. They would stop me if they saw I was wearing a Texas Tech shirt and be like, "Oh, do you play volleyball? How's it going?" And so they really want to know what's going on, and you could just see that kind of as I was interacting with different people around campus. Everyone truly cares here about the student athletes and making sure that they are getting the help that they need, making sure that I will be successful no matter what kind of life decisions I make. And also, when I got to meet the team really embraced me right away and did a really good job of just making me feel like I was already a part of the group. It was really easy to jump in on conversations. They were asking questions about my life, and when you come, playing the sport is very important, but if you hate your teammates and you hate your coaches, you're not going to have a good experience. So that was something I was really looking for and immediately found when I got onto Tech's campus.
Thank you, Carlin. We've got about 5 minutes left this afternoon, so if you have any last questions that you want us to answer, please get them in. We do have a question that came in a few minutes ago. Why should you choose Texas Tech University as an athlete? Texas Tech offers everybody a great opportunity, and first and foremost to come and to receive a world-class education. It's our first and foremost goal that when you're a student athlete at Texas Tech that you leave with your degree in your hand. That being said, you're also going to be able to compete in one of the best conferences in the country within the Big 12 Conference. You're going to be surrounded by great people who are going to get to know you and care about you as a person. You're going to have some of the best academic support and academic advisors in the country like Jason Pasinger. You're going to have great teammates. You're going to have a great strength and conditioning staff, as you've seen with Carlin Myers and the team that she works with each and every day. It's a terrific environment. It's a terrific university, and I would encourage you to come see us. Come visit us firsthand if you can, and if you can't, get on our website, explore what Texas Tech University and also what Texas Tech Athletics has to offer, and I can assure you, you will not be disappointed. We like to say at Texas Tech, from here, it's possible. And from here, it is possible, and you can achieve any dream that you have for yourself and provide a great launching pad for you to move forward as an individual. And Red Raiders help Red Raiders. When you get a degree from Texas Tech University, you can be assured that in whatever market of this country that you want to live in, if there's a Texas Tech Red Raider living in that market, they're going to do all they can to help you get a beginning and get a start in your chosen career. So it has come that time that we're going to wrap it up from Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas. It's been a great opportunity to be with you this afternoon. We wish you continued success and wish you only the best as you continue to make your decisions. And if you do move forward and do become a Division I student athlete, we know you'll have a great experience. So like we like to say at Texas Tech, get your guns up. Best of luck to all of you, and have a great afternoon. Thank you.